welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle. I got Hondo here with me today for this particular video. And, let's talk about NFTs. And maybe someone in the comments below can explain them to me in a way that an idiot can understand. Because I've tried to figure out what they were. I've tried to understand why they became a thing. And it's just always lost on me. I don't get it. NFTs never made sense. They seem like a scam. And they seem like they were doomed to fail. Well, now it looks like this article from The Guardian agrees because investors convert totally worthless NFTs into tax write-offs. A new service offers a way to offset losses from NFTs during a grim crypto winter that saw demand for digital collectibles vanish. Like, I kind of get the concept of a digital collectible. It exists in video games like World of Warcraft and Roblox, where you have these items that are super rare drops, and so they cost a lot of in-game currency, and sometimes people are willing to pay even real money for them. So while I do get that there's a demand for that sort of thing, it's a demand I've never particularly understood. In the realm of video games, I guess I kind of understand it because it's an active process. You're playing the video game. If the super rare drop is like a wearable cosmetic item, it's a way of showing off and showing your status. But even then, rarely did they get to be as expensive as NFTs. I mean, I know it has happened, but it's not exactly common. So let's read through here. Just a year ago, Washington, D.C.'s Hirshhorn Art Museum, the capital's preeminent contemporary art museum, was asking whether non-fungible tokens were a fad or the future of art. 12 months in, it looks like tax write-off might have been the right answer. Yeah, the fact that these can be tax write-offs when really they were just idiotic scam purchases is bananas to me. But, bananas, bored monkey. That was unintentional, but I'm pretty proud of it. This year was not just the year that cryptocurrency values were burned by investor fears, rising interest rates, inflation, and scandals. It was the year that crypto's cartoonish art cousin, the NFT, an electronic identifier confirming a digital collectible is real, collided with reality. In March 2021, Christie's sold a digital collage NFT by the artist Beeple for nearly $70 million. I thought maybe a few $100,000 were what these things topped out at, but $70 million? In January, pop artist Justin Bieber paid $1.29 million for a Bored Ape NFT, a graphic of a, bored ape. Everyone from Michael Jordan to former First Lady Melania Trump was in on the game. Now, alongside the broader crypto market, the appetite for NFTs is so diminished that a specialized market has sprung up for collectors looking to sell off their once valuable digital collectibles, a tax losses to offset their income tax bills. Well, yeah, of course the appetite is diminished. Everyone realized it was a scam and it wasn't the way of the world. It wasn't where we were going. Remember when video game companies, I think Bethesda and Capcom maybe, said that they were going to get in on the NFT game? Sega may have been a part of it too, and fans were like, you do this and we will boycott you. And I think they backed off, or at least if they haven't backed off, they've not exactly been super public about it. Maybe it was Square Enix. Either way, the point is, nobody who isn't some rich investor thought NFTs were the future. We all looked at it like it was a joke. All normies thought of this as just the bigwigs flexing in a way that was, well, to use an old phrase, weird flex, bro. A recently launched service, Unsellable, aims to help collectors do exactly that. Think of it as a distressed asset fire sale. While every investment class has its losers, many of the NFTs were invested in were not only big, but they were now totally worthless, illiquid, unsellable, the service says on the website. Illiquid, wouldn't that just be like ice or vapor? Unsellable, which it says building the world's largest collection of worthless NFTs, buys the underlying tokens for a fraction of their original price and provides an official receipt for tax purposes. Launched a month ago, Unsellable now has 5,000 NFTs, and founder Skylar Halloran expects to grow to 15,000 by the end of the month. They're an interesting artifact of a period of time in the market, he said, but he expects the NFTs are likely to continue to be worthless. I wonder if that's true, or if this is some sort of big-brained long-run game where he's like, yes, if I can get all these what were once valuable NFTs for really cheap, and then the value jumps right back up, now I hold all the power. That's actually kind of big brain. I don't know if that would ever happen, nor do I know if that's the company's goal, but I kind of wish that that's the plot twist at the end of this Shyamalan film. We realized there was a practical problem that was locking up a lot of resources, and we could create a lot of value for people by offering to buy up their worthless NFTs and allow them to harvest the losses. What practical problem was locking up resources? Okay, so people paid $1 million for an NFT that's worthless. I'm sure that's not that big a loss when you look at their net worth or their income. It was just a dumb purchase. It's the equivalent of some dude in his 40s having a midlife crisis buying an expensive car. Yeah, is it dumb? Should it have been done? No, but I doubt it locked up resources. In fact, the guy going through the midlife crisis, that probably locks up resources because maybe they didn't have the money for such an extravagant purchase. But the people that were buying thousands and $1 million Bored Ape NFTs like Eminem, they got the spare change. It's not a locked up resource. For some folks, the amount they paid for NFTs is quite high, and we're buying them for a penny, so the write-off they can take is quite high. Again, there seems like there's more to this that I'm just too financially illiterate to understand. What sort of sustainable business model is this for you as a company? Yes, you give them a receipt, they get a tax write-off, but you're spending money. How are you making money? It's easy to see why buyers may be keen to sell for a fraction of that original investment. Demand for digital certificates of ownership that underlie NFTs has evaporated. More than $19 billion was spent on NFTs between January and March 22. How was that number so astronomical? Since then, according to the blockchain analysis from Chainalysis, monthly spending has dropped by 87%. Just $442 million was spent in November, and that number of active NFT traders is down to two-thirds from its peak a year ago. According to the nonfungible.com market tracker, 144,000 NFTs were sold for $142 million on January 16, 2022. This Wednesday, there were 17,000 sales for $28,000. The most traded collection of NFTs are images from the Bored Ape Yacht Club, like the one Bieber bought. Each Bored Ape image features a unique combination of 170 possible traits, including expression, headwear, clothing, and more. All apes are dope, but some are rarer than others, the company says. Yes, and I get that aspect of it. You know, an algorithm throws together a giant amalgamation of different possible accessories, and some were, you know, to use video game terms, rare drops. So an ape with a rare drop item, it could be worth something. And the more rare drop items you get by pure luck when they're all put together is worth, you know, hypothetically a bunch of money. Obviously that's not the case because this fad wore off. And yeah, who cares about an algorithm spitting out pictures of monkeys that have the chance of artificial rareness? Yuga Labs, the company behind Bored Ape, was recently hit with a class action lawsuit claiming it had unrealistically hyped the value of its intangible goods. The lawsuit named celebrities and former NFT evangelists, including Bieber, Paris Hilton, Madonna, Jimmy Fallon, and Kevin Hart, as co-defendants. Yeah, because these individuals were out there propping up NFTs and saying they're the next big thing, and obviously they have influence, and so their influence is going to drive people who listen to them or are fans of them to also participate in this, and it's basically being treated like a Ponzi scheme. I don't necessarily think that that's fair. These individuals were just riding on a wave of what they thought would be the next big fad, and it failed, and now they're being targeted like they were in on some big game, which I don't think they were. Don't get me wrong, I'm no fan of Bieber or Madonna or Fallon. Definitely not a fan of Kevin Hart. I think that he's just an abysmal comedian. I don't like any of these individuals, but I don't think that they should be being sued as like co-conspirators in the Bored Ape Yacht Club fiasco. No, it's just a business that couldn't actually get off the ground. It's literally the digital Enron. Props to anyone that gets that reference. Defendant's promotional campaign was wildly successful, generating billions of dollars in sales and resales, the lawsuit filed on 8th of December in a district court in California said. They manufactured celebrity endorsements and misleading promotions regarding the launch of an entire BAYC ecosystem, the so-called Other Side Metaverse, were able to artificially increase the interest in and price of the BAYC NFTs during the relevant period, causing investors to purchase these long-losing investments at drastically inflated prices. Again, it just seems like a bad investment. Can you be sued over bad investment advice? I mean, maybe if you hire an accountant and that, but at the end of the day, it's just that, advice. No one's forcing them to do it. Obviously I'm no expert, but this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. People made bad choices and now get to sue over it. It was still your choice. The NFT market is a long way from where it sat in October 2021. Good. when Mike Winkelmann, the digital artist known as Beeple, sold his work at Christie's, making him among the top 3 most valuable living artists. Last week, Winkelmann remained upbeat about the internet's place in creating art, but he conceded the market is still a bit crap right now. He told Bloomberg, "Do I think it's going back to where it was? I don't know. I definitely think it's going to be up from here." Well, I mean, you can't exactly go down from here. You can't go down from a world that thought that NFTs were going to be the next big thing. That's pretty much rock bottom. One former celebrity and U.S. president agrees. Earlier this month, Donald Trump launched a collection of digital collectibles depicting him as, among many other things, an astronaut, a cowboy, and a superhero. It sold out in less than a day. Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, I don't think it sold out because they were NFTs. When you bought one of the Trump NFTs, you had a chance to win a collection of various prizes. Dinner with him, a trip to Mar-a-Lago to play golf with him, like a cocktail party, things like that. So people were buying the NFTs really just for the chance to get to meet Trump or win one of those Trump prizes. That's kind of a different argument altogether. You could argue whether or not that's cool or dumb. I don't care one way or the other. But the point is, people weren't buying the Trump NFTs because they were NFTs. They were buying them for the chance at winning an additional, much better in their eyes, prize. But that's all this article has to say. Frankly, I think that a business that is buying back these NFTs, giving the idiots who made these large purchases the chance to write it off, I think that's dumb. I think that's cheap. And I also don't know how a business like that is sustainable because it seems like they're just spending money. Now, you could make the argument that, yeah, but then they could resell those NFTs if they go back up in price and make that money back, which is true. But if the guy who heads up that company is to be believed, he doesn't think they'll come back up in price. He said so himself. So he's either got to be lying and he thinks they will, but he's saying that to get business out there and generate buzz, or there's something else happening behind a closed door that I'm not smart enough to figure out. And if you are, please tell me in the comments, because I wanted to cover this hoping that maybe I'll learn something new, when really I learned nothing. And so I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think and if you can teach me anything about this scam, for lack of a better word. And also, please like and subscribe. I really am trying to grow this channel, so your subscription would mean the absolute world to me. And follow me on Twitter at BoltTheWord, because this has been Words of Paradise.